What's up, Hockey Think Tankers? Welcome to another Wednesday episode of Short Shift, sponsored by Skate Tech. What's up, Matsumoto and Son? I know you're going to be reading this along with me. Skate Tech Skate Sharpening Equipment Repair brings you NHL quality service at an affordable retail price. With over 23 years of sharpening and equipment customizing experience, Skate Tech serves as your personal equipment manager, providing the highest quality skate sharpening, blade profiling, team uniforms, and equipment alterations available on the market today. Let Skate Tech help you take your on-ice performance to the next level with the edge the pros trust. Check them out at skatetechsharpening.com.
Here we go. What's up, everybody? Happy Short Shifts Day. Pumped to be with you here today, this fine spring day. It is sunny. It is warm. The kids are playing outside. We're on the trampoline. We're doing water play. Man, the outdoor cats are outdoor, and they are happy as can be. Hopefully, they are wherever you are as well. Today's Short Shifts, Jeffrey Lavecchio has no idea what the topic is going to be, but should he choose to accept this challenge and be my co-pilot on this magic carpet ride, we're going to have some fun today. Vechs, ready to go? Nice. Okay. So as we are recording this, we are in the conference finals of the NHL playoffs.
Tight.
As we are recording this, previously, your boy, Jakub Dobeš, the kid who sent you every meal that he ate to make sure that his nutrition was on point and did everything that he could, has just led, as a rookie, the Montreal Canadiens to the Eastern Conference Finals. 2 Game 7 wins, where the team was outplayed. Let's call a spade a spade. The team was outplayed, and he came up absolutely big. And so for today's Short Shifts, we're going to dedicate this to your boy Dobie. And I want to know what makes that kid special. Typically, we talk about some hockey tactics and stuff like that, but we're all about impact here. We're all about providing some stuff to kids that are listening that can help them to be the best that they can be so they can achieve their dreams. Here's a kid that you knew who was playing 18U hockey in St. Louis, moonlighting with his high school hockey team in St. Louis, Missouri. Then he goes to play in the NAHL. Then he goes to play in the USHL. Then he gets a Division I ride at Ohio State. Then he spends a bunch of time in the minor leagues. Now he comes up and he is the goaltender for the Montreal Canadiens in the Eastern Conference Finals. Buddy, give us a little bit of a play-by-play on how that happened and why this kid is where he is.
Obviously a big part of it, natural talent. Obviously, you play that level, you got to have natural talent. But he literally, he went all in on himself, and he believed in himself, and he believed in his preparation too. Before I met him, or before I started working with him, and him really, I've talked about this conversation that I remember vividly having with him at my first gym when I retired, which was actually a teeny tiny little room that we threw some dumbbells in. I asked him, I ask everybody, what are your goals? And he was like, I didn't leave home from Czechia to not do everything I can to try to make the NHL. I'm not living away from my family. Well, do you think you're doing everything you can right now? And he was like, no. And so we went over okay, well, what does it take to get to that level? All right, well, you got to take care of your body, which at the time he wasn't. You have to do off-ice training religiously. You have to. It's part of your week. You must do this, which he wasn't doing because he was playing high school hockey on top of AAA hockey, which is too much to do both at the same time, because there was 3 practices a week for AAA, couple practices a week for high school, games for high school, games for AAA. He could have been skating, 7 to 12 times a week if he's doing all of those. You have no energy or time to work out when you're doing that, and so we looked at, his sleep, his nutrition. We looked at everything, his self-talk, and we started being well, let's get better in all of these areas. And he did the work. He actually did the work. He went all in on his development, and which brought a level of confidence in him that is very noticeable. He's not cocky at all. He's a quiet guy. He's very dry, Eastern European, kind of how a lot of them are. But he has this air of confidence around him because he knows he's prepared to do what's necessary to play his best every day. And we talk about it all the time. You can't play your best if you're not confident. I always tell players, you got to control what you control. And a massive part of that is your preparation. And if you want to play well, you have to be confident. To be confident, you have to be prepared. So then how do we go into a rink when we walk in the rink door, whether it's a practice or a game? How do you walk into that rink confident? It's not from playing well last game, because you could play good or you play bad. Confidence is something you have to have every day, no matter the result. So how do you build daily confidence? Through your daily details. And he started hammering those day after day after day consistently, which leads to unshakable confidence. Whether you have a good game or a bad game, you're going to have bad games. You're going to make mistakes. But if you every day wake up and focus on the daily details that you need to be focusing on to build that daily confidence, to play your best, it becomes unshakable. And so he's done that. He's done that. And he mentally, he's a pretty unflappable human being because of his self-belief, because of his preparation, And so people, want to ask all the time, like, oh, how did he go from here to here? Dude, he went all in on himself. That's the answer. He went all in on himself. And you can't take that away from people, no matter what. Toph and I talk all the time about how you have to focus inward nonstop and not be looking outward for people to give you confidence or give you praise. Like, no, it's all inward. And he went inward. And that's why he's at where he's at now. And it's very cool. He has a goalie mindset coach who works with him. His name's Peter Fry, who obviously does great work with Dobie. Like you see him in between whistles, like they zoom in on him. You can see that he's doing a mental process there. Win, lose, doesn't matter. He's going to be even keeled. And that's stuff that only you can build within yourself. And he has done that.
Well, let me ask you this going along with that, because we only got 10 minutes here, but one of the things that I've been most impressed with, and we were talking to Lurgy about this. So for those that know Jeff Lurg, he will have an episode coming out here pretty soon. One of the greatest human beings in the entire world. But the thing that has really impressed me is he's had a couple stinkers in the playoffs here too. Not every game has been phenomenal. He's played 14 games. He's lost 6 of them, because they all went to game 7. And how he's bounced back after the games where I don't know if he didn't play well or he got, more goals scored against him than typical, but like he came back the next games and was unbelievable, especially the last game 7 against, oh my gosh, why am I blanking right now? Against Buffalo, right? Like overtime, makes a huge save against Tage Thompson. Like he was unbelievable in that game. He was unbelievable in game 7 against Tampa too. So like talk a little bit about just that, like the resilience, the bounce back. You talked about the mental coach. Like what's that about?
I mean, I think that, Hastings used to say this to us in Omaha, like you can't lose 2 in a row. Never lose 2 in a row. You're going to lose games. Obviously nobody wants to lose ever, but you're going to lose. It's going to happen. But the best teams, the best players, they don't have 2 bad days in a row. They don't let one bad day turn into 2. And I think a big part of that is because of the preparation, which builds confidence, which leads to your best play consistently. So, he knows that. He is that. Like I said, like to be unflappable. When you have built unshakable confidence in yourself because of how you live, how you prepare, how you approach the day-to-day, knowing that each day is its own. They're not, one day doesn't need to spill into the next. You go to sleep, you reset. It's a whole new day, a whole new set of opportunities. If you live and think that way, it's a lot easier to be successful more consistently. If you allow one bad game to turn into 2, to lose your confidence because your confidence is based off of results. Your confidence shouldn't be based off of results. Your confidence should be based off your preparation, which then gets you the results that you want because you're going into the game confident and you have done the proper preparation. Whatever is necessary, you're going to feel better. You're going to think faster if you are preparing in all of the different ways you can, both from practice, nutrition, recovery, sleep, workouts, mindset, all of those things that you need to be doing to play your best. at any level, if you're doing those every day, whether you win or lose, you're controlling the controllables, which leads to confidence, which leads to you playing your best today, no matter what happened yesterday.
Man, spitting fire. Absolute fire right there. And really cool to hear it from a guy that helped Dobie to get this mindset, challenging him years and years ago to go all in. I love that. We talk about that a lot, man. So there's a lot of good vibes with the Canadians right now. And so 2 Game 7 wins. They're coming up against the buzzsaw in Carolina, but there's something in the water up there in Montreal, something going on that's pretty special. So a lot of that starts with Dobie and my idol, the guy, Marty St. Louis, and Big Cat, the Big Cat, Nicholas. You know,
Yeah,
Cole
buddy.
Caulfield's dad's been on the podcast here. Like we're Montreal hockey think tank, Montreal Canadiens. Let's go.
Never thought I'd say that, but let's go, baby.
Yeah. All right, guys.